Hi everyone, so I'm comparing the camera of M31s with Samsung S20. So both can record 4K from front camera. Samsung S20 can do 4K 60 frames per second, but for this video I'm just sticking to 30 frames per second. So this is the footage of 4K. You can see the dynamic range as well. It's quite cloudy, no sun, so both can switch the rear camera while recording from the front camera. So I'm recording from the rear camera on 4K 30 frames per second from both of them. You can see the stabilization as well. It's quite windy, so you will understand the noise as well. So these are the trees for the colors as well. They both can record at super steady as well. So I'm running right now. So let me just show you how they handle the stabilization while running. Let's do the autofocus test as well. Looks quite nice. Now autofocus test on S20. It's quite fast. This is a sample of low light video. You can see M31s is quite grainy and the white balance is a bit off as well. This is the front camera footage. This is M31s. This is S20 at night. So I'm going in the darker area. S20 footage looks weird. I've realized that the video of M31s is a bit wider and saturated. One thing I was surprised to see that the stabilization of M31 has been improved a lot from M31. And at night M31 has been doing okay. It's not bad for the price, but it is noisy. For front camera I actually prefer M31s video over S20. It's very soft and washed out. Let's talk about photos now. First picture is taken on wide angle camera. I actually had to double check to see if the photos have been switched. Photos on S20 are a bit cool, and if you don't zoom in, it's very hard to tell the difference. But when you zoom in, you will see the S20 picture is less noisy and has more details, but wide angle camera has definitely been improved on M31s. Same color tone continues on the main camera as well. Personally, I liked M31s photo better in terms of color. Again, S20 is cool and bit more contrasty, and colors are better on M31s. If I zoom in, frankly, I can't tell the difference in the quality. So in daytime, the 64 megapixel camera on M31s is performing neck to neck with S20 12 megapixel camera. The next picture I have taken is with 10x digital zoom. S20 can go up to 30x, but I prefer 10x. Here S20 wins by a margin as M31 does not have a telephoto camera or hybrid zoom like S20. In the next picture, the S20 picture is more vibrant and more sharp, but if I don't look at them side by side, I'm okay with both of them. In the next picture, you will find OIS very handy on S20. M31s is a bit soft, and if I zoomed in on M31s, you can see some noise in it. S20 is working well with the noise reduction. In the next picture, colors are way off on S20 and M31s both. It was in the middle of both of them, but in details S20 is better. If I zoom in, the difference between both of them is very minimal. So far I am impressed with M31s Sony sensor. For wide angle camera, S20 has better colors now and has more details on roof as compared to M31s. If I zoom in, you can see M31s couldn't manage the details inside, so the roof has no details. In the next picture, I was trying to take my picture from the rear camera. In details, S20 is better, but I think the processing is done a little more on S20. Whereas on M31s, it looks a bit natural. If I zoom in on both of them, the details are good. And for the price, M31s is doing a great job. I also tried live focus from the rear camera. M31s has a depth camera and S20 doesn't, but S20 is performing better in terms of edge detection and the details are better on S20. In this picture, light is coming from outside and S20 has managed the dynamic range very well. If you look at my coffee table, it's just washed out on M31s. So I tried night mode on both of them. One thing you will notice on M31s in night mode, it will zoom in. That was not the case with M31, but you will notice this in every night mode picture on M31s. In the night mode, M31s managed the dynamic range better. S20 did nothing because for S20 the light wasn't low enough to open the shutter speed for a long time. In less night, M31s camera starts struggling with focus sometimes. S20 is sharp here, and at 400% crop you can see M31s is noisy and soft. S20 also produces soft images, but here S20s night mode works better. M31s zooms in the night mode again. Also, there's a lot of noise if you notice the area behind my cat. When it comes to daytime selfie, both are doing a great job. S20 has shown my shirt color more accurately and my skin tone is also good. M31s has saturated colors and my skin looks red. When I zoom in, I'm pleased with the details on both of the cameras. I'm also glad Samsung has toned down the beauty mode a lot. On the front portrait, edge detection is kind of same on both of them. Here I feel S20 is just a bit washed out. In artificial light, M31 has noise as compared to S20, but when I turn on the night mode, it's a different picture. S20 mode is just not reliable and overprocesses images. In the next picture, I just wanted to check the dynamic range. Even though they show picture differently in viewfinder, processing is quite similar. I went out to click some more pictures and I was moving while taking this picture. Still the M30s photo turned out well, but the details on the tree are not great because it's a bit blurry. In the next picture, it's hard to find a difference. If I'm being honest, I won't be able to tell which is taken from which camera. When it comes to the color, I prefer M31s colors better while looking at them on my monitor, but they might look different to you on your screen. For example, if I zoom in here, details are much better on S20, but the orange color on Lenovo is way too bright on S20. But in this picture, the flower is washed out on M31s and the S20 picture looks beautiful and well balanced, although the colors are not very accurate here either. For the daytime pictures, I don't have many complaints about M31s. If your hand is steady, 90% of your picture will turn out great. I'm just disappointed with the depth camera on M31s. It's useless. Take a look at this picture. It's just adding bokeh anywhere. Just look at the Samsung sign behind and the flag. S20 takes better picture in portrait when zoomed in. You can't do that on M31s, so that's why I'm using the wide angle camera for portraits in S20. Sometimes on S20 photo, it will look pleasing to your eyes after processing, but it's not real. Here M31s is showing how it actually was, and for portrait I will not rely on M31s. Okay, who's hungry now? I think this picture is a good example for color and artificial lighting, and they look quite similar here, but in details M31 wins here, and in very next photo the colors are different. M31 has more consistent color as compared to S20. S20 always tries to make picture look more dramatic, and it doesn't always work. In this next picture, they are both dramatic and it's way too saturated on both of them, but in detail, S20 is doing way better and the noise is very low on S20. Now I'm back home and M31 is blowing off the ceiling light and there is some noticeable noise in M31's picture. I took this picture in evening when it was nearly night time and only one street light was on. Both are actually doing decent. If I zoom in, the details are slightly better on S20. When I turn on the night mode, M31 zooms in again and S20 is a sharp mess. I just don't like this thing about S20 night mode. It removed the light from some areas where it is required. S20 image is sharp, no doubt, but it brightens the place unevenly. Wide angle night mode works surprisingly well too. S20 opens the shutter for a long time so that you can catch ghost. But when S20 night mode works, it is plenty sharp as compared to M31s. As you can see in this picture with my night mode, the floor is a bit washed out and if you zoom in, you can see the noise. But when I turn on the night mode, M31 is doing a good job but zooming in as usual. S20 is very sharp here. Let's zoom in on the same level. I think M31s is doing a good job with white balance and overall picture. M31s can't perform in pitch dark conditions. S20 can open the shutter speed for a long time. Here in this picture, S20 opened the shutter up to 10 seconds. And if you see for the front camera, it can open the shutter for a long time as well. M30 and in M31s, you can't even see me. So that's it guys, let me know your thoughts as well. I think M31 is for its price has performed really well. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. My name is Rohit, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.